Howdy all and welcome. This is Mike from It's Fine Gaming, and today we're taking a look at Civilization 3 Complete, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial here in hopes of getting my friends to want to join me on the multiplayer. The multiplayer has just been recently, I guess, redone since GameSpy went under. There's no multiplayer for a while, and now it's being supported by Steam. Anyways, the original game was released, I think, in 2001. So it's got some age to it, but it's still just as fun as I remember it when I was a kid. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into a new game. Alright, so this is going to be on single player. However, if you guys are playing with me on multiplayer, you won't have to worry about this. But I guess if you wanted to practice or just play on your own, these are good things to know. So world size is quite obvious. I'm not sure the correlation between standard, I think, is 8 players, and I don't know, I think tiny might be 4 players. This is kind of the overall flavors of the map, and continental and things like that. Barbarians, you can figure that one out. Climate has to do with how green. You'll see a lot of jungles and a lot of forests you'll have to cut through, and then you have the other extreme, which will be very dry and arid in places. Temperature is going to have to do with the amount of tundra that will be on the map. So very cool. The tundras will reach farther from the north and the south, and you won't be able to have quite as much valuable land, and this would be the other extreme. Age has to do with the mountain ranges and such like that. So the older, it's going to be smoother, easier to explore and move through. But if you wanted choke points and things like that, you may want an earlier age. Alright, so whatever I selected is fine. Okay, you can select your nation, and all the nations will have 2 little perks here. And you can read the description if you like. That's way more than I'm going to deal with. And I'm not sure of what each of these mean. You can look that up or just not worry about it because it's relatively balanced. And just I like Germany. All right, pick your rivals is the AI that you're going to be dealing with. And you have various victory conditions and other little rules that you can have. Elimination removes the player, or I think the AI, when you just take one of their cities. If you lose one city, then you're removed from the game and you lose. Regicide has to do with you have like one piece or one person on the map that's your king, and you have to keep him from the enemy, and if the enemy kills the king, then you're eliminated as well. So instead of having to take each and every city, there's kind of like shortcuts here. However, they're always going to obviously be difficult in their own way, so you can choose the way you want to play. AI aggression, which I'm not entirely sure difficulty versus AI aggression. I think difficulty has to do more with the decisions the AI makes, such as how aggressive they want to be with science, or if they just want to be just kind of go with the flow and things like that, whereas the aggression has to do with their militaristic decision-making skills. So whatever select is good. Let's just get into a game here. Blah, 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 blah. Start the game, basically. All right, so here we are. In this tutorial, I don't have laid out or planned, so I just want to play the game and allow you to watch me to see, I guess, questions as they may pop up. I'll try to answer as I go. So here we are to start with. This is my first settler here. So we have main menus on the top left. Get rid of this. We have the encyclopedia. You can break down and look up whatever you want. However, you can just on the unit right here, I can right click and I can view the entry for the settler right that way, instead of having to look it up. And right clicking will also show me you can stack units. There's a settler here and there's a worker that's underneath them. And in this game, you can stack as many units as you want on one square. It's just not limited to one warrior on a square versus you can walk through, but you couldn't stay on it. You can have your whole army on one square if you want. And that is one of the big key differences between Civ 3 and Civ 5 that we've played. So we can also see terrain info. I think in Civ 5 all you had to do was just let your mouse cursor hover over it and it would show information here, where now you actually have to right click and to see the information you want. Now if there's no unit there, just right clicking will show the information, but if there's a unit, it brings up this other menu, and I'm doing all this just by right clicking. All right, so down here we have our mini map. We have different commands, and the letters that's in the parenthesis is the shortcut keys, and those are all explained quite easily with just the highlighting. Again, these actually are new buttons. This is not from, because I didn't deal with any expansions. The only Civ I've ever played was the classic, just the original. I never got any expansions until now, so these are kind of new to me. And those are also self-explanatory. All right, so the basics are taken care of. You have to, if you're just starting, I would advise going to Preferences and always wait to end of turn. I want to select that. Otherwise, when your turn ends and the next turn starts and everything's automated, it'll just keep cycling through until something happens, which I guess if you want to move fast, that's okay, but I usually like to just have a pause to make sure I don't want to change my mind, because once this game starts rolling and everything's automated, it won't stop. All right, so, okay. The settlers here, first thing in the game, they usually put you in a reasonably good spot, so I'm just going to go ahead and build. You can click the button here, but I'm just going to hit B because I know that's the shortcut for build. And these are the standard names that the game has, but you can always change your city names right off the bat. All right, so this is my city screen, and we'll probably get into more detail on a lot of this later when issues arise, because right now it's just not, you don't have any foundation to understand quite yet. However, production is important and easily understandable. So we're going to start here. Got nothing I can do. What I do want is an archer, and if you hold the shift button here, you can queue up other things to do as well. So I want an archer, I will build a spearman, and then we'll go ahead and build a barracks. And those three items now, the archer, spearman, and barracks, are all queued. And my worker, I'm going to automate, which is the A button. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hit A. Now you can also see here, join city. I can have him collapse into the city immediately, and this will become 2, and I'll have a population of 2, which means I'll be able to produce more and get more food, and it'll grow quicker. However, I won't have anybody out here to do developments on the land, so I'm going to keep him out here. All right, so now we can either hit the enter or space button or just click on this little button right here to do our next turn. But our advisor popped up and is telling us we want to select our science. But let's go ahead and take a big picture view here. These are the different ages we're going to be traveling through. Say you want an item republic here. You can click on this and it's going to pick the path that will get you there the quickest. However, I'm not too picky. I don't remember what he said. We'll just start down here. We'll just do the temples. All right. Now to access your other advisors, you can click your advisory tab right here. It brings up whoever you were looking at last. But you can select your different advisors on the left side here. And I think there's F keys and things like that that are the hot links to these, but I don't know what they are right now. But we'll just move them right along. All right, so we're done. You can see we are, we have been doing turns here. We've got our economy growth. This is our science. We'll be completing this in 23 turns. And actually, you know, we have a surplus of 1 per turn, as you can see. It's going up. I'm going to hit F1, and this brings up my domestic advisor, which is one of these different advisors here. And this little scale right here is how much money I'm going to be putting into science and how much money I want to put into entertainment for my people to keep them happy. Our treasury's at 15 and we're gaining 2 per turn. So I can go ahead and start investing more in my science, and we'll see this is what I'm studying for technology. The turns will start to go down. All right, I'm not worried about saving money right now. I just want to invest it all. So I'm just going to keep it all right there. And you can see our one and only city with our one and only citizen. And he's currently working on building an archer. So this is a nice overall summary screen that you'll get very much acquainted with. All right, I'm just going to keep hitting spacebar here. You can see now I have 2 citizens. All right, so my archer is complete, and I want to start sending him out to do a little exploring. And it's just not, you just can't do left or right click anymore. You have to actually select the go to button. However, it's G, and I just get used to this, so I just hit G, and it moves him right along the path. Okay, our first major issue here. Let's go ahead and just send my archer up here. Alright, so now we're in civil disarray. So I'm going to go into my city, and I'm going to find out what the problem is. Now, my citizens are going to be divided into 3 groups. Happy, content, and then unhappy. And right now I have 1 unhappy and 0 content, or 0 happy. My content counts as neutral. It doesn't matter how many of these I have, but I have to have more than my unhappy, and I think it's equal to or more than. I'll have to see what happens here in the next few citizens I get, but I think I have to either match or be greater. Either way, we have a problem right now. So what I'm going to do, there's a few things you can do, but right off the bat I need all my workers. I can't convert them or make them into I guess a jester that improves the morale. So I'm going to hit F1 again and see it's reflected right here. I have no money to spend, so I'm going to back up my science a little bit. 1 turn. Alright. Still going to be completed in 1 turn. I'm going to invest a little bit in my entertainment value. And right now I have 1 happy, 1 content, and 1 unhappy. We're going to try this and see if that solves the civil disorder. Alright, see, our city, our city has gotten back into order. Actually, I don't know why the unhappy went away, but so we have 1 happy and 0 unhappy, so we're in good shape and producing. Now this is a village over here that I've been neglecting. It looks like assorted cheeses and breads. That was a little village that I walked in, and they gave me a settler. However, I don't really have a good place to place him at this moment. So he's going to wait right there with the spearmen. But I think I'm on a little island. Alright. History of the world. The most powerful nations in the world. Germans. I'm 6 of 8. Don't take this too much into heart. If you don't score very well on it, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not a real reflection. It's just a snapshot of statistics, I guess. However you want to look at it. Uh-oh, civil disorder again. Alright, let's get back in there. Alright, so I have 2 unhappy. So, like I said, there's a few ways to do this. And you can convert a person by selecting... See how it's highlighting? It doesn't matter which one you select, just pick the one that's going to be the least detrimental. And right now, we're such a small city, I would rather focus on growth. That's my food count right there, versus my shield production. So I'm going to sacrifice this fella, and now he's improving the entertainment. And you can see how I can just put him right back to work by clicking out here. So we're just going to do, you know what? No, I want him to stay there. We're going to exit out, we're going to hit F1, and we're going to bump up our entertainment. Oh, that didn't do it enough. That did it. And we're at -1 now, which I've got 20, so I'm just going to want to eat that for a little while. Alright, Berlin's back in control. I do want to settle him we're getting at a good distance now where both cities will be able to grow. However, I want to... Oh, actually, he is right there on the ocean, so he'll be able to build the Colossus and have a port and all that good stuff. It's right there good enough. You know what? We're just going to do it. Yep, build. Alright, so I don't have... Oh, that village gave me alphabet. Alright, so we don't have any barbarians as of right now. We can build a ship, though. I am going to build a ship. Now, I can't put anybody in the ship to get to the land. I'm going to put him on Explorer and this guy on Explorer. Not that they're going to be able to see too much more. In this game, which is different than Civ 5, the people can actually just turn into boats themselves to go to the next land. You actually have to have boats and load them and offload them, so that's kind of a drawback, but at the same time it slows things down where it's a little bit more predictable, I guess, maybe, of your enemies. Alright, now this function is Civ 3 and not at all Civ 5. The people love you, and it takes you to, you can read this, it'll explain exactly what I'm telling you, and you can build your palace step by step. The more the people love you, the more rewards they're going to give you. So you can select one of these items, and you can select the style that you want, and just go however. So I'm just going to start with the ground, because that's the same no matter what style you select. Alright, and this archer I'm going to put on Explorer, just to maximize what I can see on this tiny little island. Alright, our temple is made, and I need more workers, so I'm going to put a worker on here. And the thing about this in Civ 3, when you build workers, you take them from the city. Now, this was a bad example because as soon as it built, it replenished. I just had a citizen. I would have had 5, even though, I don't know. We're going to do it again. So we're going to go into our city screen. We're going to change to our worker, and he'll be completed in 2 turns, and this will drop down to 3. Our treasury is running low. Alright, we can remedy that. We're going to go to F1, where we're going to see we're at -2. Okay, we need to start backing down. Let's see if I can get away with less entertainment. That's alright. That's okay. That's not okay. Alright, we're at -1. Back off my science a little bit. Yeah. We're going to go with that. Alright, so keep an eye here on our worker. See, he was produced and he dropped the population by 1. So you just can't crank out a bunch of workers because you're inhibiting the city's population, which means they're going to produce less. However, it's a long-term investment where now I have 3 times the workforce. I have 3 total here because there's 2 workers here, and they're going to be building improvements to make the fewer citizens I have in here more productive. Oh, and I built a warrior by mistake. Okay, so in this case, you can right-click, and you can just, no, I don't want to ban the city. I'm sorry. You're going to select him, and you want to hit disband, which is D, right here. And he's going to try to talk you out of it, but no, I don't want it. I don't want to pay for that unit right now. Oh, well, I guess I probably should have said yes, not no. There we go. Alright, so right now I'm building a spearman, which I'm not really worried about because I don't have any real threats. I'll build a granary, and if any time you need to know what the granary is and things like that, I just right-click it and it'll explain what's going on. Say you didn't understand exactly a spearman or the technology required, his attack, defense, and move, which actually is reflected in his name for was a spearman. 1-2-1 reflects the attack 1, defense 2, and movement. So that's quick reference even within the name. And granary, yes, good to go. Another difference between Civ 5 and Civ 3, roads. Civ 5, roads cost you money. In this game, it does not cost you money. It actually improves the land. So if I check on the terrain here, I'm getting a food 2, gold 1, shield 1. And if I were to look at another grassland, it'd just be food. I believe... Actually, I don't know what the road does. I think the road gives you 1 gold and 1 shield extra. Because there's a mine, I think that's giving you another additional shield. By mid-game or late game, you will see all of your territory pretty much just covered in roads and your people just traveling way too many roads. But the fact of the matter is, it improves your land in and of itself, so your workers will always default when they have nothing better to do to build roads. Alright, so now we have this little guy right here. I'm going to right click on the picture, which does nothing. I'm going to right click on him, and I'm going to view. Alright, so he's a little scout unit, and he does not have any capability to pick up anybody. So I cannot take any of my military or a settler across the water yet, but I can send him out to do some exploring. And I do not want a warrior. I don't need one. I can go ahead and click, instead of going into the city screen, I can right click and I can change production right here and make a selection. However, there's a few items that I want to have all done at once or in a row, so I'm going to go to the city screen so I can set up the queue the way I want it. So we're going to start with temple, do granary, barracks, and then we'll do the wonder, the colossus. Alright. Right here, I don't really want to produce anything. I don't really need a settler. I guess I could do with another worker. We'll do that. Uh-oh, we're starting to get low again. Oh, can I alleviate? Nope. Now, if I had natural resources, or I guess luxuries, such as dyes or wine or anything like that, that contributes to the happiness, which will change how the people are set up here. And since I don't really have any of that, and that's not an option for me, I have to maintain some form of percentage here of happiness to improve their morale. So I can't lower this any further, or else they go into disarray in Berlin. So I'm gonna have to drop my science back. Which you can see the impact here goes from 36 to 50. And finding that balance and what you're willing to sacrifice is very important. That's why you'll be very acquainted with that screen. Alright, they've explored all they can, so I'm going to bring them back down to the cities. And having military units garrisoned in a city will actually cause your citizens additional happiness as well, because I guess they feel secure. Oh, okay. What do I have? Most advanced nation. Oh, third, not too bad. Alright, so our military has just arrived in our cities. You can see down here in our garrison units, we get a happiness. Now, I do believe you can, it's the first two, or whichever two in your garrison will cause happiness. But as soon as you have a third one, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help or harm, but you don't get any benefit. So, that's changed this outlook, I believe, and I can drop my money back. Okay, content to, alright, that's alright. Drop it back again. Alright, that's as low as I can go because I have 2 happy, 2 unhappy, and 0 here. So, alright, we're at +3, which means I can put my science up a little bit. We're at 39 turns. Down to 20, and we're gaining 0. Okay, that I can live with that. That's a better situation now. So although our units are costing us money, it's helping us provide happiness to our citizens, which is an alright trade in the long run. Alright, now here I want to fortify, so you can just hit this button, or you can just go ahead and click F. I want to fortify this unit as well. Say, for instance, if there was I don't know, horses out here outside my cultural influence, I can build a road out here, and then I can expend one of my workers and he'll set up a colony right here, and that will give me the benefit of the horses, even though it's not in my boundaries. And that may be more important for resources that are all the way out here, and I don't want to put another city down, or maybe I have an enemy city right here and there's just not enough room for me to build, and I can sneak around and try to grab that. However, if their cultural line pushes into it, it will take over my colony. And vice versa. When I have a colony here and my cultural line moves in, it will kind of abduct that colony, and I'll still have the benefit, but it won't technically be a colony anymore, and I don't think you get a worker back. But I usually don't mess with colonies that much at all, and that's kind of, I guess, the extent of my knowledge. All right, I want to take a look at the big picture because I need to get my units out to sea. And I don't know what I want. I think map making. Right click on that to see what it's about. Yes, I think a galley is the first unit I can place in, or can hold other units and carry it across water. So I definitely want to get this as soon as possible. So we're going to go take this route right there. All right, we have 9 citizens right now, and that's quite a bit. And because I believe we're next to this little patch of water, it's allowing my city to grow, or maybe it's the capital, because usually cities will cap out at 6, meaning they can't grow any further without having aqueducts or something else built. And then I think there's another cap at 12, or maybe it's 9. Maybe there's a cap at 9 and 12. You have to build some improvement. So right now we have a city of 9, which is actually quite a lot. So in that case, I'm going to not hesitate to turn some of my citizens into jesters. And I don't want to sacrifice too many shields, and my growth I'm not too worried about. And money's important though. Yeah, but just because that money, I'm going to convert this one. All right. Now, in addition to an entertainer here, I could change him into a tax collector, which boosts my money, or a scientist, boosts science, obviously. But I'm going to keep him here as my entertainer. That should solve that problem. And I'm running low on money. Entertainment, can I drop that? 4 and 4, 1 and 1. I can do that, and I'm shrinking at 1. So I gotta take back a little science. Dang it. Alright, should be good for a few turns. On this city right here, this double dashed line here means there's 0 growth. So I'm not actually producing more food, or enough food to grow, actually. I'm producing just enough food to survive and not shrink. And the improvements that they're making to the land may help that, may not. This early in the game, don't worry about it too much. But that's what this number means. And the 16 here means I'm going to have a new citizen in 16 turns. And likewise, whatever you're building, that's the number of turns left. Alright, so I've produced 2 additional military units. On my city here you can see I have an archer and a spearman. On this city I have a spearman and a swordman. So I'm going to go back to Berlin here. And you can see both of them are counting for happiness. So I'm going to reactivate, well, maybe here? Oh, actually, didn't make a difference. I still need an entertainer. Well, there goes that idea. How about over here? That looks like we're in good shape. So let's see if we can cut back on our entertainment a little bit. 4 and 4 works. That works. So we're not losing money. We're at 0. Alright, that works. Alright, this city has produced another spearman, so we can go ahead and look in here. And you can see only 2 of them are actually giving me the benefit. Now if I move the swordman out, the spearman will start supplying the happiness. It doesn't matter, it's just selecting 2 of the 3 in the stack. Alright, so in Berlin, see the red here? That's going to mean I'm losing... I don't have enough food to feed my people, so they're, I guess, starving. So I got a shortage going on here, and this is my granary. And so I do have some time to fix the issue, but it's just grown so much I had to turn 2 people into entertainers to keep the happiness where it needs to be, because I really don't want to spend... Oh wait, no, I can do this. Oh, there, problem fixed. Okay, from the F1 screen here, Domestic Advisor, I can actually just click on Berlin right there and take me right back to the city. So I want to put them right, zero growth. If I put them here, they're producing 2 food, and I'm going to have growth in 21 turns, but I'm already having enough hard time trying to balance it, so I don't really want to grow right now. So I'm going to actually select that person to produce extra shields. Now I have 0 growth, which is a better position to be at for this particular part in the game. Okay, I've just completed map making, so I have my ship in this city right here, and I'm going to... Yeah, you can see him right there. Can I select him from here? No, I can't. Alright, so I'm going to right click on the stack, and I'm going to wake it. Alright, and I think next turn I should be able to upgrade it to a galley. Oh, I guess not. I guess I'm a liar. Oh, should I be able to build a galley? I can build a galley now. That's what I want to build. I'm going to right click. I can transport 2. That's what I need. So I need actually a whole mess of these. So I'm going to hit shift and get another one lined up. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Gotta hit it up here. There we go. Alright, so I don't really need this unit anymore because I can't upgrade it, so I'm going to go ahead and destroy it. And if I'm going to be able to get over here and start colonizing, I need another settler. So we're going to go to my capital and quit producing money, and we're going to produce a settler in 2 turns. Okay, a settler has been produced, and I want to change the production to a worker because I'd like to have a worker join on the other side. So we're going to move to this city here. This worker, I want to go to this city as well. Alright, load. And I'm also going to load in one of my spearmen. Actually, this represents their health, 4 out of 4 versus 3 out of 3, so I'm going to pick the stronger, the veteran spearman. I want him to load into the boat as well. And that, I want to travel here. And I can't unload right now because I've expended his turn. Okay, worker, I want you to come back here to the city. I want you to wait. I want you to offload. And I'm just going to hit G, which will automatically bring up the disembark menu here, and I want to disembark everybody. Alright, and then I want you to travel back to the city. Alright, as you can see, now I'm down to 8. We were up at 11, but I had been producing all those settlers and workers, which really ate away at my population count. So fortify. I want... Where's the worker? Active worker. I want you to load in. And I want the ship to head over here. Alright, workers, I need you to disembark. Yes, all. Go up one more so you can be a port city. And also maybe take advantage of that fish on one of your cultural line expansions. Build. Alright. Oh, so many things to build. So I'm going to start with the temple, granary, barracks, and harbor. My swordsman. Oh shit. Oh, that is not what I needed. Alright, where's my other spearman? Need you to get off there. Meanwhile, I need my boats to just ignore the barbarians. Alright, combat works a little bit differently here. So I have 2 units right here, and I'm going to select my swordsman because he has a stronger attack. He's got an attack of 3. And I'm going to hit the go button, or the G, go to, and select the unit I want to assault. Alright, he wins. So it's a little bit different than Civ 5, which shows you the probability or the damage that each unit's going to take. You truly don't really know how it's going to turn out. I should have used him on the guy with the hill, but we're so outclassed them it doesn't really matter. We're just going to hopefully mop up this last guy. Alright, no issues. Alright, so we have a, not necessarily an enemy ship, but we have an AI ship here in our territory, so I'm going to right click here and see it's Babylon, and I think I can double click, yes, and it brings up the leader. You can propose a deal, force them to board, they must be withdrawn, so I can be very upset with him and tell him off basically, and his little cautious thing will probably change to angry or upset or something, or you can just outright declare war for no reason, or you can just go ahead and leave. But let's take a look at proposals here. So luxuries, what he has, I don't have any extra. Resources, don't have any extra. Gold in our accounts, he's got more. Technology, he has way more technology, but I really can't buy anything for the price he would be asking, or if he'd be open to selling. And then cities, that's just a quick look at trades and things like that. You don't necessarily have to load people on and off a ship in a city. Obviously you saw me offload. Oh, building on my island again. You know, you're quickly becoming my least favorite AI. Oh, anyways, you don't necessarily have to load people on a ship in a city. So, for instance, I'm going to move a unit there, and I'm going to move one of my galleys. Do this one right here. We're going to go right about there, and I can load right onto the ship right on the land. So just because I keep coming back to my city as a collection point doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Oh great, somebody also built the Great Lighthouse, which is what I was working on, which I'm not going to be able to complete. Now, had I had additional wonders that I could be building, I know at the end of my turn this is going to be taken away from me, and I would just switch it over to that. So what I can do is switch it right now. I'll just start producing at my palace. That way it prevents all of this work from being lost. Well, this game is not going my way. Babylon has just declared war on me apparently, actually. See, I guess we can see how the battle plays out here. Alright, so he destroyed one of my people. However, I had additional units protecting it. So you have to destroy my entire stack, which now is just one spearman because I don't believe the galleys actually affect anything. However, I could take my galleys out and go after their ships. And you can see he destroyed my road, my improvement here. So it doesn't have the same effect as in Civilization 5 where it's smoking and smoldering. It just disappears. Oh good, they're not going after my... Oh, but they are going to take my city. With a warrior. Wow. That was actually pretty sad. I don't know why my guys rolled over so easily. That is pretty sad. I guess that's a good humiliating point to stop. Should give you enough basics, and when we play together, guys, should be able to help answer more questions. But so F1 starts your advisories, and you hit F2, F3, F4, and keep going, and you can study. All these can give you different information, and you can keep going to F7, F8, and so on. Will keep giving you more and more. So you can study these, but by far F1 is going to be the one you are going to need to know the most. And this was very early game. Didn't even get close to mid game, I don't think. Where's my science? yeah, I wasn't even close to getting to the Middle Ages and so on and so forth. I think this is a good enough place to just call it a tutorial, and hope to see you guys in game. Also, think this might be a little bit smoother than Civ 5. I find Civ 5 quite frustrating with its, I guess, instability. So, anyways, thanks for watching. This is Mike from It's Fine Gaming. Hope to see you again.